and they use these to get warrantless surveillance on the opposition. To me, that's gonna put the democracy of Barbados at risk. And to me, that's not a stretch. We've seen it happen in other islands. It'd be kind of naive to think that this would be the one Caribbean territory that it wouldn't happen in.
I love how you put that. I love how you put that. But where do we go? It's 9:37. I want to ask, what do we do? What do we do, Zico? Where do we go from here? What can we do? What can the citizens do?
I think these citizens first need to let their voices and concerns be known. Not just be known, but fight against it. If you don't fight against it now,
let's talk about the how.
All right. First, let's start talking about Saturday. We have the March Saturday coming up. All right. First, let our voices be known, our concerns be known for sure. Because it's too much overreach from the government. Our privacy is being invaded. Yes, we already have the cameras. We're talking about the tents. We're talking now about intercepting your phone calls. What is next? Then next we're talking about where you can be basically walking more with a GPS chip and ID cards. So I think is now is the time to really speak upon it. Not let our silence and our ignorance get in the way of the government just playing God. I just really think we need to really make a stand right now. And just don't if you gotta go in front of the parliament and keep noise, let them know. We just cannot stand by on the wayside and just allow the government to play God with our lives. We need to be really, really proactive where this is concerned, because this it can plague us, it will plague us, it will be used against us, especially abiding citizen. Not really too much the criminals. Criminals will find a way around it. That's the reason why they're called criminals. They will find a way around it. So we need to really, really address this in the early before it's too late.
Janine, what can citizens do right now to push for the amendments to this bill, or to stop the bill completely? Because we've identified there are sections of this bill that violates human rights. So what can we do?
Well, first of all, I think that you have started it right here on the Loyal Opposition by educating the persons who really wouldn't have known much about it. Prior, you would have had 2 shows educating persons on what has been happening, and then you have it tonight with us voicing our opinions. So the public awareness is great. It needs to be more, because obviously you just can't do it here on the show, and you do have the March on Saturday, as Zico was saying. We need to demand. We are more than the government. We, the citizens of this country, we can control what we want to happen. We would have seen it with the cyber crime bill before, and we can do it again. We need to ask them to strengthen legal protections if they really want to have this done, because as I was saying, if women, even us as women, if we want to find out something, we don't have to tap into nobody. We could dig and dig and dig, and we will find the information if we want to. We don't got to tap into nobody's phone. I see Zico laughing like that happened to you. But we can also engage politically. We can vote for leaders and parties that are committed to protecting civil liberties. Right now in Jamaica, the bill only ran recently. We would have seen from months past, we would have seen the campaigns happening, and nobody would have even said, "Oh, the election is happening at this particular time." So we can start now. We can start to advocate for better leadership. We don't have to wait until an election comes around to say, "Oh, we want this government removed." No, we can start right now.
Let me ask Teroni, if over the next decade, if this bill passes the way that it is, with the sections in there, the section 52B in there, what will it mean for Barbadians over the next, say, decade? Theirry?
I know you said Teroni. I didn't know you was talking to me.
I said Teroni. I meant Theirry. Sorry.
Oh, you can ask the question again.
Yeah, I was saying, what will it mean for if this bill passes in the present state? What will it mean for Barbadians over the next decade?
It'll be a very dangerous situation.
Why?
Why? Because everything we said tonight, not to reiterate, the fact that they can decide, well, what is national security and what is not national security, what is economic what's the security economic interest of the country. For
Economic
example,
well-being.
Dave saying something in the chat. I don't know if you mind me reading it, but he said the Suez fiasco back in 2017, 2018 goes against economic well-being, which is true. So they could have come and said, well, okay, the person speaking about that are violating the act. So for me, like, they just have to be very, very cognizant of what's going on, as much as they can really say on it. Because there's nothing else we can really do besides civil disobedience. So
Civil disobedience. Whoa, Daniel. But let me just let Brandon, who told me that he has his daughter to take care of, so he had to leave. And I think I still see I'm not seeing Don. But let me ask, he said civil disobedience. Is that something that Barbadians might need to do? Daniel, Boyce? I love to talk to young people, you know, because you guys, you don't play.
I mean, I think there've been a number of issues we've needed to engage in civil disobedience over. I don't know how we're going to convince the masses to do that.
Why you say you don't know how?
Boy, because you tend to find, like, you know, we get on the internet, you know, we get disgruntled and speak amongst our friends, but when it becomes time to kind of band together and take a stand, you find the majority of persons, that's where the support kind of wanes, right? So I don't know what it's going to take to convince the majority of persons to take a stand, and let's actually, you know, do something to fight back, in essence, right? I don't know what the strategy would be to convince most persons to come out and support. If it's not now, then boy, I don't know.
But you're saying that you believe this is something that people should, Barbadians should stand up for.
Yeah, for this and a plethora of issues. You know, we could go on all night. You know, I've been harping on about import taxes, you know, the cost of living, the gas, diesel. You know, we could talk all night. You know, there's a number of issues we need to put our foot down on. And to be honest, right, what we need to remember is the power really lies with the majority, you know. We outnumber them more than 10-1, right? So, for example, if we're having issues with, let's say, Flow and their prices, if all of us band together and we decide, well, we're not paying our bill next month, and 200,000 people decide to not pay that bill, we're gonna get change with 100% certainty. So we need to realize that we're a lot more powerful than we believe, right? We need to band together, support each other, support the initiatives, and fight back. To be honest.
Theirry?
One, before I mention this story, I want to say I agree with Dio, but something one of my lecturers did as an experiment showed me something, right? When we were in class, he said, I have an idea for everyone. I would give everyone 100% if everyone agrees that everyone should get 100% in this course. So, person said, okay. Sir said, let's put it to a vote. Marcia, if 20 people out of a class 100 put the hand, that was enough. And when he asked the question, why the rest of them put the hand, so I don't want this person get the same grade as me. I think if you want to do the work, you should not get this, get that. So I set out to say this. We have individuals who are self-absorbed because they are just naturally that way, and then you have persons who have so much going on that they're not going to be able to say, man, look, that's the way I tapping bill. I ain't got time for that. I got to deal with my kids. I got to deal with this. I got to deal with that. So I said all that to say this. It's something that you have to sit down and analyze what will drive persons in a positive way with respect to civil disobedience, not necessarily extreme civil disobedience, to say, okay, enough is enough. So you have to understand the populace, understand how we've been climatized, indoctrinated throughout these years, and then make a decision as a body who's pushing for this protest is pushing for activism to see how we can galvanize or motivate the people. And that's my perspective on it, given the story that I mentioned.
Yeah, Daniel?
I just want to add to that, right? So I think I agree with you, Theirry, right? But I think we need to look at it. We have an inherent issue as Black people, right? So Marcy, as you would know, I've been studying the more persons in Kenya, right? And the atrocities that would have happened to them. Now, the British were able to go in there and commit tremendous atrocities to the Kenyan people. But if you step back and look at it, it's astounding because the Kenyan people outnumbered the British. Like they were way more Kenyans, they were way more you know, as opposed to the British that came in. So if we took the Kenyans against the British, the Kenyans would overwhelm them. It's the same thing here. The powers that be, there are more of us on the outside than those that are on the inside. If we come together, we will have a stronger force than them. We just need to find it within ourselves to band together, put aside our differences, I guess. You know, find common ground, and you know, take it further than forums like these. But forums like these are necessary. But we need to take the next step. You know, go past the internet, go past just having conversations, and you know, actually commit to something and take a stand.
Commit to something and take a stand. Zico, I see you're shaking your head.
Yes, I do agree. I think we need to mobilize, then verbalize, and then hold them hostage with our votes. I think it needs to be said. You know, if we're going to say
Hold them
we're
hostage with
democracy,
our votes. What does that
yes.
mean? And this is why I personally I love to speak with young people, because you guys you're not talking around. You hitting straight. You said mobile, and Janine was hinting at that. Explain to me what talk to me straight.
First of all, we need to understand the traditional voting system in terms of we voted based on our parents, we voted based on because it's where we come from, is voting these our whole lives, we voted these our whole lives, and we just voted just because of tradition or just because we like a personality, not because of policy or not because of the best interests of our people. So I think what we need to do right now is to make it known you will not have our votes if certain needs are not met, if certain things are not met. And I don't think we do that when it comes to election. We just ask for money, or we just ask for something very vague as well. We want jobs, or we want something, but no, we need to, when it comes to policy, pay attention to policy. I don't think the agents pay attention to policy, and go and hold them hostage. We're not giving you our votes if this is not done, especially when it comes down to marching, when it comes down to actually being an activist for certain situations within Barbados, the social ills within Barbados, going out there and saying, you know what, you will not have our votes if this is not met, if this is not done. We do not agree with this bill. That's a true democracy. Do not wait for them to give us the power. We have the power. We actually give them the power, you know. So understand that we have the power. We can take back that power from them. And once we understand that we really do hold the cards, I think we can really change the playing field and really hold them hostage.
Janine, you are the first one who mentioned that you think in a case like this, with this wiretap bill, except especially section 5(2)(b), that the people can say, if you don't take it out, we're not voting for you. You think that would work, Janine?
It would if we really put action behind it, because sometimes Barbadians just speak, but they don't actually take the action.
Explain to somebody, how do they put action behind something like that?
By starting from now, I don't, as I was saying earlier, I don't think that we have to wait until action. We can demand our right now. Our voices matter, our rights matter, our freedom matters. And I think that we don't really, understand our power. If we really, really had to tap into our power, things would be really different in Barbados. I would like the government to also remember that security does not come from spying on law-abiding citizens. If you really want to be secure, you should really look to who really are the criminals and just get the information there. As I was also saying earlier, is like a repetition. We can look on our Instagram right now or on WhatsApp, and we can tell you persons who will be involved in legal activity. You don't have to go into where it's happening if you don't want to, As I said, I'm really not against the bill, but I can see that this bill doesn't have any safeguards for anybody. And my question tonight would be to the government: are we slowly turning into a surveillance state? Because yes, everybody wants we don't want to have any crime, of course. We want to live free and to walk about without fear. However, I can see where I've seen things within this government, especially where something was started, as a good thing for citizens, and then it slowly turns into abuse. In terms of, all right, so for now, in China, like how they're putting like cameras on to catch criminals. We see in China it's supposed to catch criminals at first, and then all of a sudden it turned into be, oh, this is how your credit score work. This is how things will happen to you. This is how you're being monitored. So eventually, would we turn into a surveillance state? Because we see that this government always says one thing and then it turns out to be another, and that is my fear when it comes to certain things within this bill.
Yeah, yeah. As we think about the march this Saturday, we have a march coming up. It doesn't make sense. Is it worth it, Zico? Zico, you think that it's worth it for young people like yourself, right? You guys are young. Is it necessary for us to hit the streets on Saturday, Zico? And
Yes,
why?
of course it is worth it. As I said once again, we have the power. We the people have more power than the pen itself. And we have to let our voices be known. We have to let them know that we're displeased with this. Is not a partisan thing. Is not if you're BD, whatever the case may be. You have to come and stay and speak for your rights. Speak for your rights. I understand. Empower the people to speak. I know we believe that people is saying, we're going to march and what you going to do. So what is it going to do when we do nothing? Evil prevail when good people fail to act. So if we decide to stay in our houses and just mumble either in a social media comment or something, no, get out there and let your voices be known. If you're displeased with it, go out there and say, you know what, we either need to get rid of the bill or we want certain changes within the bill. We need to go out there and let our voices be known. We are the people.
Are you going to be there on Saturday?
This Saturday, unfortunately, cannot. I have a session with some youth that I'm counseling. So that's around that same time as well. But otherwise,
yeah. But I know you've been out there on some of our marches. Theirry, what do you say to Barbadians about the march? Do you think you were very involved with the cybercrime bill march? I remember you on the truck. And such. You think that was worth it being out there, Theirry, with the cybercrime bill?
Most definitely. If it wasn't boycotted to go to Parliament, it would have been Parliament, and me and the Honourable, or previously Honourable, Edmund Hickson would have been at it. But the thing about it is, it was worth it because I don't. Janine got a chance to go, right?
Janine went to Parliament as well.
Yeah. So a lot of persons, we if we didn't speak up and stand up, we would never got the opportunity. So the protesting works. But the thing about it, you have to be consistent. That's the whole entire thing. Consistency. Otherwise, person will be like, okay, well, man, let me serious, man. I ain't taking that serious. Like the older lady that we love so much, Dolores. Yes. We speak about how she been preaching down town for where I can't remember the other places, but for a while, and then she was consistent person. Listen, so you just gotta be consistent.
Keep being consistent. Daniel Boyce, I have never seen you at any of our marches and protests. Are you one of those young people who say, man, they need to go sit down and don't bother with these marches and protests? What are your thoughts? What are your true thoughts about it, Danny? You think it's a waste of time?
No, not at all. I think it's necessary, even if it's just to spread awareness, right? I'm hoping to come out this Saturday. I probably will. I know you would know. Personally, my schedule is,
yes,
my time is not always my own. But once things at home are good, I'm definitely gonna come out because we need to spread awareness with 100% certainty.
Definitely. So Saturday, everybody, we are inviting you down on Saturday. And as you heard from Theirry was out there on these marches. So was Janine. Janine actually went into Parliament to speak up on behalf of the concerning the cybercrime bill. Zico has been out there. And folks, it's important. Don't listen to people who say it's not going to make a difference. All you have to think about is a cybercrime bill, which is in the garbage right now. You have not heard one political, one MP go for it, Theirry. That's what I'm saying. Take that victory and ride on that victory. And I'm saying, Zico, the 5-2B needs to come out. And all of this thing about this oral warrant and all of these, all the and these vague terms. They need to come out of the bill, and we must not stop until they're all out. That is my belief, and we've seen it happen with the cybercrime bill, and we can do it again, Barbadians. And here you have your young people saying that we can do it. Theirry, the youngest. How old are you, Theirry? I love to ask him that. I know you know, but I love to ask him.
I am 22 years young.
22? You turned 22 now? I knew you when you were 20. And let me tell you, he can speak. He could mount a platform, and Theirry can speak and move you. I am telling you. I hope that he's able to come out. Again, this is a good cause. This is a human rights issue. And we're thinking of Barbados in the next 10 years. So we need everybody to come out. Don't sit home and say, well, it's not going to work. Just think of the cybercrime bill. And I agree with Theirry, I think, or somebody said being consistent with the cybercrime bill. We were out there every week. You remember? We were out there every week. Every Saturday. We were out there. Go ahead, Theirry.
And the sun was very hot.
And the sun was hot. We had you and Timon and all of you out there, right? Janine was out there some of the times. So we need you all to come out again, folks. And the numbers matter, all right? Come out and let your voices be heard on Saturday. I want to take this time to thank you all for taking the time to be here. Danielle, I know that you have a lot going on, but you're here. Thanks to Brandon, who told me ahead of time that he had to go to take care of something with his family, but he came on. And thanks to Don, who had to duck out as well. He's a businessman. I know that he has a lot happening for him, and he had to go. Theirry, thank you once again. Thank you also Janine and Zico. Folks, we really, really appreciate you coming on and hearing you talk about these serious issues, because we were going to have a different kind of show, but with this we had to jump into this, and I'm going to charge you all. I need you to help to put some memes together. Help us to get the information out. Help us to get it on Instagram. How do you help us to get this out? We need you to help to get we need to help you, your help to help us to educate the young people in this country, because you are the ones that are going to inherit what this government is doing, regardless of the government, and be able to know that if it was a DLP in, we would need to go on march, right? And if they're doing this kind of thing, go on march. If the UPP was in, go on march. It don't matter who is in. Yeah? If it's wrong, it's wrong. All right? So again, as Judith Ann said, thank you all to our panelists. God bless you all. And thank you to everybody who is joined. God bless you, Zico. See you around. And bless you, Theirry. Bless you, Janine. And of course, Don. We will talk. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, Janine. Thank you.